Hi everyone, it's Lindy. All right, I know it's a little bit of a day early, but Happy New Year's Eve! Happy New Year's Eve! So I was kind of waiting until the last minute to do my video about my New Year's resolutions just because, frankly, I needed time to figure them out, first of all. Because I wanted to create goals for myself that I actually thought that I could stick with. And when I say New Year's resolutions, I'm not talking about, standard New Year's resolutions like save money or lose weight or go to the gym more often, stuff like that. I'm referring to business goals for the entire year of 2017. And so I wanted to make sure that I took my time and thought of something that was a lot more realistic, like what I actually thought I could do. And then when I realized that I set a goal for December that I am failing miserably, I realized that I really needed to take my time and think about my goals for 2017 because I don't want to fail 2017 as badly as I failed December. So first, I evaluated what kind of goals I wanted to have. Most of the time, people will have goals for a certain amount of gross sales. I don't really want to approach goals for gross sales for one main reason. I feel like I cannot control my gross sales. I don't feel like I have exposure to the kind of quality items that I would need to ensure that I could increase my gross sales. I kind of just take whatever merchandise I can find, and I know what the resale value is of it. And so realistically, the only way for me to grow my gross sales is not necessarily to set a number to try to hit, but to increase my number of listings every week. So that is my first goal for 2017. I want to increase the number of listings that I do every single week. Now, currently, my listings per week are around, they're pitiful, you guys. They're really pitiful. In November and December, I decreased to probably 50 to 70 new listings a week. Yeah. During November and December, my new listings went down. I was like back in the first part of the year and over the summer and August and September and even most of October, I was doing like 20 a day, easy. And then I was doing 30 a day some days. So to drop to like 50 a week, that's pretty pitiful. So my goal, I have them all written down. And I'm going to paste them somewhere in my office where I can see it every single day. So my goal starting off 2017 is 100 listings a week. Now these are brand new listings. This is not counting relisting things that didn't sell, okay? My goal is 100 listings per week. And then after that, I am going to do a 5% listing increase every single month. So, like for the entire month of January, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, 100 listings a week, okay? And then in February, I'm going to increase that 5%, and I'm going to do, 105 every single week for the entire month of February. And then in March, I'm going to increase it to 110 a week. And I'm just going to keep increasing 5% every single month. And then that way, by this time next year, I will be hopefully averaging about 24 new listings a day, which is about 173 new listings a week. So if I can pull that off, I know that my gross sales will probably at least double, possibly triple, fingers crossed, quadruple in size. So that was the first goal that I set for myself. And then I started thinking, Lindy, let me ask you this. If you are having trouble getting out 50 a week, How in the hell are you ever going to get up to 170 a week? Well, then that brings me to goal number 2. I'm going to hire help in 2017. As a matter of fact, yesterday I put out a local ad looking for someone to help me out. Now, when I say I'm hiring help, let me explain what I have planned to do. And I'm probably going to do a completely separate video on this after I find somebody and hire them, and kind of go more into detail about how I hired them, the qualifications that I look for, the amount they're working, and just kind of like going through the whole process. That way, you know, if you've never hired somebody before, or you're looking to hire somebody and you don't exactly know how to approach it, I can at least give you, you know, tell you what I have done, and hopefully what I am planning to do will work out. So I'll take you guys along for the ride on that one. But so anyway, yesterday I did put out an ad accepting some resumes and references for people, and I have had about 5 promising people email me so far after only a day. So my plan is to set up interviews the beginning of next week, and hopefully get somebody hired and get them trained and have them start either at the end of next week, which would be the end of the first week of January, or the start of the second week. My plan for them, and this was the thing that I was struggling with, is I was having trouble relinquishing any power to an employee because I want so much control, and I don't really want to bring someone into my house to work, because when I work, I like to do it alone. I don't like to bump into people and answer questions and have people talking in my ear and things like that. So what I decided I'm going to do is I'm going to hire someone to help me draft like 2 or 3 hours a day, 3 to 5 days a week. And basically what my plan is I am going to, every night, I'm going to photograph somewhere between 25 and 50 items. I will photograph everything because that's something that I cannot relinquish control of for the life of me. I want to photograph everything. I'll photograph everything, and then in the morning, when I drop off my kids at school, I will take everything that was photographed with the SD card to the employee's house. One of the qualifications was they had to live in my close proximity, and I will drop off the merchandise to them with the SD card, and they have to get it done by the end of the day. And come 5 or 6 o'clock, when I am out running errands or picking up kids from school or friends' houses or whatever, I will just swing by their house and pick it up. And then that night, I will check the drafts, I will price everything, I will set the shipping, I will edit the titles, and then I will activate. So I'm thinking that if I have an employee to do all of the stuff that is like the measurements and the item specifications and uploading the photos and rotating the photos and cropping the photos, if I have somebody else doing that, and all I have to do is worry about photographing the items, editing the titles, editing the pricing and the shipping information, then I really think I will have no problem hitting my listing goals. So, and then I'm planning to pay per listing. So, and if you're curious, I am probably going to be paying 75 cents per listing. I have heard that the going rate is like $1 per listing. However, I have decided against that because I feel like all they're doing is uploading pictures and taking some measurements and basically clicking down drop menus. If they were doing photos, then I would probably say $1 a listing, but because I've already taken the photos, I'm probably gonna stick with 75 cents a listing. I don't see any reason why, if someone is sitting down cranking them out, they shouldn't be able to get 10 or 15 done an hour. If it takes them more time than that after a while, then I'll think about raising my, raising the fee, because I do wanna be fair. But anyway, so I am looking to hire somebody in 2017. I have already started the process of that, and I have just determined that I cannot grow the way I want to grow doing it all by myself. So goal number 2, hire an assistant to help with drafting. Then I started thinking to myself, well, if I hire help and they're doing 25 to 50 listings a day and sourcing is scarce for me, how am I going to find the merchandise to give to an employee? If I'm going to have an employee, how am I going to support an employee? Which leads me to goal number 3. I am going to start making regular trips to Kansas City to visit Goodwill Outlet. When I went to Goodwill Outlet for the first time, I was there for around 6 hours, and I came out with 222 pieces. So it was a good day's work. It was about 195 pounds, 222 pieces. And that was pretty awesome. And the drive was not as long as I thought. I had initially thought it was going to be somewhere between 2.5 to 3 hours. It turned out only being 2 hours on the nose. It was a straight shot. It was so stinking easy to get there. It was like follow the highway for a couple hours and then literally 90 seconds off the highway and I was there. It was easy peasy lemon squeezy to get there. So I have already talked to my husband, and so he is planning to keep Benjamin every 3 weeks or so that I can go to Goodwill Outlet. Depending on how it's going with the employee, I might have to switch to going to Kansas City once every 2 weeks. And if that's the case, I might have to just start taking him with me and perhaps dropping him off with my dad and my stepmom so that I can go sourcing. Shoot, maybe even if it starts going really well, I'll just go weekly and maybe just not spend as long. Maybe I'll go like spend some time with my dad and source for a couple hours or something like that. But so that is the first way I'm going to increase merchandise for 2017, is I'm going to start going to the Goodwill Outlet more frequently. Now that I know it's there, I know how to get there, and I know how much I love it, not to mention the fact that my profits have increased in the month of December since starting to sell merchandise from the outlet. So I'm very excited about that. Something else that I am going to be doing to increase my merchandise is I'm going to be driving more. I'm going to be driving to nearby cities more often. Currently, because it's just been me, I can only handle so much merchandise getting listed every week, so I haven't really worried about traveling to nearby towns. So if I have an employee that is helping me list and I'm able to crank out, 40 listings a day on average, then I will have the time to, not only shop at Goodwill in my local town, but I'll also have the time to maybe drive an hour one way to Salina and do some sourcing there once a week. And then maybe later on in the week, I'll be able to drive an hour to Topeka and do some sourcing there. Because, Benjamin is in his toddler program now for 4 hours in the morning. So an hour drive and an hour drive back, that leaves 2 hours of sourcing time in the middle. So hopefully I'll be able to do more sourcing in nearby towns, although I am going to have to drive, and I am going to have to pay attention to things like gas, because if I'm having to drive an hour to other towns for sourcing, I'm going to have to factor that in and make sure that it's worth the time. But so those are my plans for getting more merchandise in 2017. I will have to be sourcing more, and that is my plan for sourcing. Which leads me to thinking about my 4th goal for 2017. I thought to myself, man, Lindey, if you are doing an average of 40 new listings a day with an employee, that is 280 listings a week, which is, 500 and, that's more than 1,100 listings a month. Where are you going to put all this stuff? Are you going to run an office? Are you going to run a warehouse? Okay, so that's a lot of stuff. That's bringing a lot of merchandise into my house. First of all, I do have a rather large workspace that I can work with. I know that I've like turned the camera around and showed you guys my office and my death piles from time to time, but that's not the only place that I have to store inventory. I have several locations in my house that is large enough to warehouse inventory. So I'm not necessarily worried about running out of storage space and needing to rent a storage unit or something. But one thing that I decided to do in 2017 is I'm going to restructure how my listings move. I have decided that I am going to, when I list new items, first of all, everything is going to be, well, hold on, retract. Not everything. There's going to be some things that are not best offer, but most of the things are going to be best offer items. There's going to be some things like retail arbitrage and perhaps some toys or things like that, that I know what set price I want, and that's what the price is going to be. But things like clothing items or plushes or things like that, those are probably going to all be best offer plus shipping. So free shipping is only going to be on the items with the set price. Then everything else is going to be best offer with charge shipping. So my plan is, that's how I'm going to originally list everything, is best offer with charge shipping. And then I'm going to give the item 60 days to sell. If I list it on January 1st, it has until the end of February to sell. If March 1st comes around and it's sitting and unsold, it's going up for auction. So, and I'm pretty sure that I haven't decided if I'm going to do 99-cent auctions plus shipping or $1.99 auctions. I think it's probably going to depend on where I got the item. I think if I sourced the item at a regular Goodwill, it's probably going to be $1.99, but if I sourced it at the bins, it's probably going to be 99 cents. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give the item 60 days, 2 months to sell. And if it doesn't sell, it is going up for auction until it does sell. The only thing that I haven't decided yet is whether or not, or how long I'm going to list it on auction before I just redonate. I think I might give it four cycles on auction before I just redonate or give it away. So that will be a total of 90 days of it being in this house. So that's my new structure. Those are my goals. Those are all 4 of my goals. I'm going to increase my number of listings 5% with an employee. I don't see any reason why that's unachievable, so that should be easy to do. Increasing my listings 5% every single month, starting with 100 listings per week in January. 2, get an employee hired for 2 to 3 hours a day, 3 to 5 days a week, to get photos uploaded, information put into listings and drafted for me to activate later. The 3rd goal is to source regularly at Goodwill Outlet and make the trip, and also travel to more nearby cities to gather more inventory. And number 4 is to list everything, buy it now with best offer for a maximum of 60 days before putting them up for auction to get them the hell out of the house. Those are my goals. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Tell me, what are your business goals for 2017? Leave it in the comments below. What do you want to do? Do you want to finally take the plunge and start your reselling business? Do you want to grow your reselling business by a certain amount? Do you want to double it? Do you want to just increase it, 20%? Are you going for a certain amount of gross sales every month? Do you have goals like maybe you have a credit card that you wanted to pay off and you want to bring in X amount of dollars from reselling on eBay to pay off that credit card? What are your goals for 2017? I'd love hearing what other people's goals are, because these are just my goals for eBay. I have other personal goals as well. So I'd love hearing what everybody's goals are, whether it's business or personal. Leave them down below in the comments. I would love to read them all. So anyways, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and let me know. If you haven't subscribed to me yet, I hope that you will. And thank you guys again so much for watching. I will see you with my next video. Bye.